Hello, everyone. Today I'd like to start a podcast about Atari Run BBSs. Back in the days, we ran many BBSs. There were 500,000 BBSs running across the world, many of them in the States and Canada. We ran a lot of BBSs on Atari hardware, and we ran a lot of BBSs on PC hardware at the time. Today I will talk about the Atari Run BBSs mainly. We ran them on the Atari 800, the Atari 800 XL, the Atari 130XE, with different versions of Forum XE, Forum XL, and other things like that. We ran the systems mainly as a communications network. And a lot of people use them for piracy. If it weren't for the pirates, none of the software that was available would be around. It simply would not be there. So the pirates played an important role in software preservation, whether they knew it or not at the time. And although it was illegal at the time, they did play a very important role. They distributed the software, and often people bought software because they liked what they saw. So there were sales. There was a lot of sales of Atari software. BBSs were fun in the day. I had a great time with Spy Visits Spy BBS, started in 1989, 1990. I ran it on an Atari 800 XL and then ran it on Atari 130XE with Basic XE and Forum XE. My BBS ran for 3 or 4 years on a modem, just one modem. I believe started with a 1200 baud modem, went to a 2400 baud modem, and finally a 14.4. That was a great time back in the day. How many of you remember the great times we had on the BBSs, poking fun at each other, laughing at all the jokes we made about the BBSs and about Commodore, the Atari Commodore wars at the time? They're still going on. Which one is better, Atari or Commodore? Well, I'm going to say Atari right now. A few of you may disagree, but that's your opinion. That's my opinion. Atari is much better. I didn't run too much on the Atari ST. Everything I ran on BBSs was either on a PC or the Atari 8-bit. And as I said before, we had a great time. The message bases were fun. The BBSs were fun. I had a lot of callers, over 200, 300 callers. I never networked with anybody. I was an independent BBS. And I had a great time running it. I still do. I've started it up just about a year ago, and I've been running it ever since. I've advertised it and I've demoed it to death. One of the main features on my BBS is the old-time radio broadcast on the website. I now run an Atari BBS, run on a PC, mind you, but it still has Atari files. It has Commodore files, it has everything. All of the files from all of the computers from TOSEC. They're all online. And the Atari files are online in a separate Atari area. So let's talk about the Atari portfolio now. I'm going to set up a BBS that runs specifically for the Atari portfolio. It'll be run on a Linux PC, and it will be run with Synchronet probably, so that I can set it up properly. Synchronet or Mystic, one of the two. It'll be set up for 8 lines, 40 columns, and set up specifically for the Atari portfolio, with Atari portfolio downloads. This is all 8-character file names. So Synchronet or Mystic will be an ideal one. It'll be Telnet and a modem line hooked up through Linux. You'll be able to dial in with an Atari portfolio and download stuff, just like in the good old days. The times we had, and we're having them again these days. If you look on the internet, you'll find many BBSs, about 500 of them. Far cry from what there used to be. But there's a lot of BBSs around. Just look on the internet on there, from Dark Force to Basement BBS to different BBSs. I don't have the list in front of me, but there's a lot of Atari BBSs out there. And there's a lot of other BBSs out there. Commodore Run BBSs. A lot of good retro BBSs out there. As far as the Atari portfolio goes, I'm collecting zip drives and zip disks and oiling them and cleaning them. I will be redistributing them with Atari portfolio disks on them. The Atari portfolio IDE kit is coming along. It's already made. We've run into a bit of a snag with the modified parallel interface. The one he chose to modify was a little different than the others. The parallel port was different. The plug was different. Still a 25-pin plug, but it was harder to get at. So you'll see on the Atari forums and on the Atari Age forums where we have the information on it to buy the IDE kits. They're coming along. It's been 8 months now since we started them. Don's working heavily on them. He's running a business on his own and working part-time or full-time, actually doing other work. So he doesn't have much time to do all the other goodies that he's promised to do. But he's working on it. He's got it about 3/4 done for the parallel interface, and then we'll test the Atari portfolio interface, the IDE kit with the compact flash. Pierre Seguin has out an Atari portfolio designed for SD cards and USB in the works. Look for that on the internet. He'll be selling them soon. That's about all for now, and keep on Atariing, eh? Keep on the Atari side. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.